The Minnesota Timberwolves are in uncharted territory. They've never been in a Game 6 before. They're trailing the Los Angeles Lakers 3-2. Minnesota facing an elimination game on a night where their survival means beating a world champion on their home court. It's Game 6. The Wolves and Lakers. Good evening, everyone. Kevin Harlan with Danny Ainge and John Thompson. Great to have you with us tonight. John, how do you assess Minnesota coming into this crucial Game 6?
Well, the big thing, Kevin, is that early they have to be aggressive and get a start. But the other thing that is extremely important is that these guys have to have the right mindset, Danny, and have that mindset throughout the whole game.
And they got to diversify their offense. They got to get more people involved, move the ball from side to side.
All right, let's check our lineups tonight here in Los Angeles. Wally Szczerbiak, Kevin Garnett, Washo Nesterovic, Anthony Peeler, and Troy Hudson for Minnesota. The Lakers starting Devin George, Robert Horry, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Derek Fisher. And let's swing it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Troy Hudson's out-of-body experience is taking a toll on his body throughout the series. What he's been doing is practicing with his team at the shoot-around, then having his own workout where he takes 200 shots from 5 different positions on a shooting machine, then coming to the stadium 3 hours early to warm up, then having to play the game. He was worn out in the last game. In fact, he was 5 for 16 total. He had nothing left in the fourth quarter. Since then, he has changed it. His coaching staff said, it's great that you want to make the most of your opportunity, but he did not practice up at 35 minutes yesterday. He did not come out on the court tonight until just before tip-off. But you know what? When you're not drafted, you've been in Yakima and Sioux Falls in the CBA and waived by 4 teams, including your own, you can't blame him if he's trying to make the most of his opportunity.
Yeah, Craig, if there's a feel-good story in this first round with Minnesota and Los Angeles, it definitely is Troy Hudson. Our officials tonight here in Los Angeles, Bennett Salvatore, Ron Gerritsen, and Blaine Reichelt. Game 5, the Lakers won by 30 points. They've won 2 straight. A win tonight, and they clinch the series, and the opening tap is knocked out of bounds and touched last by Los Angeles. And so the Timberwolves will inbound.
It's so important to get off to a good start. So far in this series, the team that has come out of the gates shooting the ball well, creating turnovers, is the team that's had success.
And the Lakers have to do a very aggressive job early on Troy Hudson. You can't let him have that out-of-body experience that he wants to have.
Here's Szczerbiak with the Nesterovic screen, and outside Hudson missing a 3-point shot, and Shaquille O'Neal with the rebound.
I love the possession, though. Everybody touched the ball in that possession. They had a quality look. What they've been doing is running strictly pick and rolls and post-ups, and no one else gets any touches.
And Shaquille O'Neal.
And that can't be. You can't let him have that much time in the post. They send 2 cutters through just to clear out the side for Shaquille.
Anthony Peeler finds Garnett, picked up by Robert Horry. And that's a foul, as Horry was over there defending and picks up number 1.
And we haven't seen this throughout the whole playoffs, or this whole series. I'm sorry, there's one pass. Coming off the screen, Peeler comes out good, tries to penetrate, swings to Szczerbiak, everybody gets a touch. Nesterovic steps off the block, everybody touches it, beautiful look. It just doesn't go for him, but that, I think, the coach is what they have to do to be successful.
Well, the beautiful thing about it is that after everybody touched, the guy who you wanted to shoot, Danny, shot the ball. Sometimes when everybody touches the ball, the wrong guy ends up taking the shot, but you're absolutely correct.
But that's what's good about this team. I mean, Peeler, Szczerbiak, Nesterovic, they've all had success in shooting the ball, so the Lakers have to defend all 5 guys when they run their offense that way.
So Garnett, who is shooting 65% from the free throw line in this series, misses both, and here comes Robert Horry the other way. Pushed out Shaq, Nesterovic on him. Shaq gets started 2-2.
Nesterovic can't guard Shaq with single coverage, and they're clearing out that side. They have to definitely figure a way to give him some help.
Kevin Garnett sneaking one in.
Well, speaking of can't guard, Garnett, good job. And I love Garnett going right there and posting up right at the rim.
Well, because they pushed it too, Danny. Last game, remember, we were saying that they were coming down too slow. They got down quick. Garnett had an opportunity.
Well, and Garnett doesn't get the chance to play against very many guys that he can back down, and he can actually gain ground on Robert Horry.
Robert Horry missing a 3. The rebound by Nesterovic, and Troy Hudson working on Fisher with an Nesterovic screen. And there's Peeler, who is shot poorly. As has Serbian. 2 right here, and that is a good sign with good ball movement by Minnesota.
And you know what? That Rick Fox would not have left Wally Serbiak right there. Devin George got sucked in, almost rotated to Rasho Nesterovic instead of staying at home with Serbiak. But good ball movement is right.
Here's Ori. And again into Shaq. They leave him alone, and Shaq hits his 3rd consecutive shot to start the game.
And you know, Coach, those are the shots Minnesota doesn't mind. You know, Shaq's not getting dunks like he did in Game 4. He had 5 dunks in the first quarter.
Hudson with the 3, and Minnesota's got a lead. Troy Hudson getting his first field goal since midway through the second quarter of Game 5. From Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal.
See, and that's a very positive thing for the Lakers because they break it to score, and that's discouraging to a pressure defense.
Well, they've really adjusted. But right here, these one-on-one moves, Coach, you know, he's shooting a little fadeaway jumper outside the paint, and we know that Shaq can make those, but he can also miss them. If they start doubling and let Fisher and everybody else get involved, that's when they're in trouble. They don't mind if Shaq makes shots.
What I hear you saying is to pick your poison. You'd rather him do that to hurt you than to dunk on you.
And to let everybody else get involved in the offense.
Serbiak picked up the foul. Lakers on top by 2. And Jack has started 4 of 4. That's out of bounds. It's off the Lakers. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
And that Fisher-Hudson matchup is a very key matchup in this game. Fisher's got to stay focused and be aggressive, particularly early.
But you know, the pressure that Minnesota applied in the games that they've won was sure effective. But Garnett, he has been effective. Again, he gains ground on Ori. There was a double team right there, and he just splits the double team with that skinny frame. And going right through him.
And Danny, this is what the pressure wants. You want Shaquille O'Neal out here at half court handling the ball if you press, even if you don't get the ball.
Here's Kobe Bryant sneaking inside. And a foul as both teams have started this game 4 of 5 from the field. The foul is on Peeler, who has assessed his first. There's Kobe at the free throw line. Starter production from the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 5. 5 in double figures.
Oh, we talk so much about bench scoring, you know, and that's such a factor in teams' victories. It doesn't matter who scores. Right there, 107 points by their starters. They got it done. The bench didn't have to contribute much. They contributed. Mark Madsen contributed excellent on the defensive end. Brian Shaw made some great defensive steals. The bench contributed. They just didn't score points.
And a lot of that offensive contribution from the Lakers has a lot to do with Kobe and Shaq and how they're being guarded.
Hudson to Kevin Garnett. Robert Horry is right there. Ankles a pass into Peeler. Kicks it back outside to Hudson. Shot clock is at 9. Working on Fisher for Hudson. Shaq had it. Bumped into by Nesterovic. And a foul called on Rasho Nesterovic, who picks up his first for Minnesota.
Well, with Shaq going off in this first quarter, Minnesota's still only down 1. I like the way they're playing, Coach. In the first game, there was no movement. In the first quarter, they were so their game plan was so much focused on the pick and roll and the post-ups to Garnett, they didn't get involved anybody else into that offense. I like the way they're playing this game right now.
Peeler is on Kobe and doubled by Nesterovic, and on top an open Fisher, who maneuvers for 2 around Serbiak's defense. Tip and try by Ori won't go. And picked up by Garnett. 2-on-2 with Hudson. Into Fisher, who cracks his head on the floor.
And this is something that's got to be sustained by the T-Wolves also. In the last game, they tapered off from pressuring offense by running down the floor real fast, making the Lakers exchange ends.
So Fisher is wobbly to get up, second consecutive game that he has been on the floor and had to be helped up. He had the knee to the thigh in Game 5 Tuesday in Minneapolis. He really hit it hard.
He did, and he's a tough kid. That is one tough Jose right there.
Troy Hudson shooting 94%.
Tough Jose.
And he loves wood, too.
Yes, he does.
Tell you what, he better be real healthy because this guy Hudson is really pushing the ball now. He seems to be plugged into this game.
Timberwolves have another 1-point lead. Their second 1-point lead of the night. Here's some full-court man-to-man the entire way, lessening as they get to midcourt.
And lessening, too, because the Lakers have adjusted. And it's not so much X and O adjustment, it's just not catching them off guard, and they're attacking the pressure.
Kobe Bryant dances inside, and Kobe hits his first attempt from the floor. He's got 3, hit a free throw. Hudson for 2 at the other end. and goes for Minnesota. He's got 7 to start the game.
Looks like he's saving his pregame shooting routine for the first quarter tonight.
Hudson has already launched 4 shots. Here's Bryant to Fisher. Hudson on him. In fact, nice fake by Fisher to get the Derek Fisher has got his first 2. The other night, Fisher had 24 up in Minneapolis. Hudson again slashing inside. Anthony Peeler open for 3. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal. Ahead it goes to Kobe. Lakers +1 in rebounding in this game so far. Kobe outside to George.
You know, Peeler's got to make that shot. I mean, not every one of them. He's got to make some of them.
Fisher for 3.
See, now this is something that's a danger sign for the T-Wolves. If Fisher starts to hit like that, not only is that's going to put pressure on Hudson. Hudson's got to defend, and that may be the best defense for the Lakers, to make him defend on offense.
Lakers are on a 7-0 run. What a spectacular effort by Derek Fisher Tuesday in Minneapolis, who is hitting 3-point shots from all over the floor.
Well, the guy's now made 23-point shots in this series. He's unbelievable.
Lakers have led by as many as 4. Fisher's hot already. Can it continue the rest of Game 6?
Throughout the series, their game plan of Minnesota has been to attack the pick and roll set by Shaq's man. Troy Hudson has had 3 incredible games, 2 victories. Kevin Garnett continues option 2 to dominate in the low post. He's had great success. Already, both of those players have had success early in this game. But the one guy that's not had success is Wally Szczerbiak, option 3. They're not moving the ball. They're not running their sets or setting any screens for him. In the last game, in the first quarter, Coach, look at that. 0 passes 9 times. That's the pick and rolls. 1 pass 8 times. That's the post-ups. 2 passes only 3 times in the entire first quarter. Wally Szczerbiak only got 2 shots. And how can you get other people involved? I like Peeler's getting shots. Szczerbiak's got an open look. Nesterovic has an open look. I like how they're playing tonight.
One of the reasons that has happened also, Danny, don't you think, is that Hudson has entered into early offense very quickly because of his success, and there hasn't been a lot of passing going on.
Neither team after that break makes a change in their lineup. Hudson has 7 for Minnesota, 9 for Shaq, and here comes Kobe for 2 as the Lakers have started 8 of 11 from the floor.
And right now, you know, Minnesota is not losing the game because of their offense like I thought was the case in the Game 5, but their defense has been atrocious so far. But you got to give the Lakers credit. They're making everything.
And the Lakers defense has stepped up other than the first few games that they played. They have definitely intensified it an awful lot.
Here's Garnett finding himself in all kinds of traffic. Nesterovic fake around Shaquille O'Neal to get it before the buzzer sound.
Well, there's 2 possessions where they've had more passes than they did the entire first quarter of Game 5.
Garnett, I think just his momentum carried him into Ori that time. And it was his first foul.
Kevin, it was a great play by Ori, too, because Ori could have taken that ball in for a layup, but he ended up waiting.
Good move there by Nesterovic.
See, that's a veteran play. When you see a guy like Ori come down, he knew the value of getting a foul on Garnett as opposed to just running in and getting a layup.
Both teams have hit 1 3-point shot so far. Kobe Bryant over newly instated Kendall Gill. Rebound by Kevin Garnett. He's got 2 tonight.
I really believe that Minnesota, again, to have any chance, they need Nesterovic, Peeler, or Gill to have to step up and produce offensively in double figures at least.
That's rejected by Shaquille O'Neal. Shot clock is down to 6. Here comes Garnett. Ori on him. Szczerbiak keeps it alive. Offensive rebound for Minnesota.
Szczerbiak shouldn't be concerned one bit about shot blocking his shot. He was going in the right direction. He should continue to do that, particularly early in the game.
Here comes Gill. Point-blank range. He can't get it. Shaq gathers his 4th rebound. Neither team has turned the ball over yet.
You know, I don't have a problem to get a shot block, Coach, but I still wish he would go into Shaq's chest on that drive rather than trying to create space.
Kobe Bryant assisting Shaq again. Shaquille O'Neal has started the game 5 of 5.
And I think Kobe discovered something in Game 5. He struggled. He came out of the gates and throwing bricks, 3 for 9. He settled down and started becoming a penetrator, creating plays. And as he did that, his game really opened up for his own offense.
Well, and this is the value of Shaq. I mean, he's going in the direction where he's trying to go in. He doesn't have a lot of body weight to go up against the big fella, but Shaq blocks it. Then Shaq comes down the other end and shows his presence on a little slight pick and roll.
Kevin Garnett is doubled. Serbiak, Hudson, Kendall Gill for 2. Rebound by Nesterovic. Another offensive rebound for Minnesota as Kevin Garnett knocks it in, and Garnett now has 6 points, starting 3 of 4 with 3 rebounds.
And I hate to keep talking about this ball movement and body movement, but when you move the ball, when you move your bodies, not only are you going to get shots, but you're going to get second shots.
Kobe Bryant with another spectacular feed. He's got 4 assists so far. It's Garnett at the other end, hitting the eye, and a foul on George. That's Devin George of Los Angeles. First on him. Garnett tries to clear his vision.
That was a questionable pass by Troy Hudson. He threw it into triple team. It looked like a Randy Moss reception up over the defensive backs, but look at all the traffic around there, and then he gets slapped right in the eye by Kobe Bryant. Kobe's doing a good job of penetrating, and Robert Horry a great job of weak side slash.
Shot clock at 7 for Nesterovic. Tapped by Serbiak, hustling for the ball, but vacuumed in by Fisher, and here comes Los Angeles. Kobe Bryant has scored 5, but he has 4 assists and has been great in that ball tonight. Missing right there, doubled and picked up by Garnett.
Well, that should have been a pass too. Kobe didn't need to take that shot. He was double teamed and he forced that shot. He sometimes, like Wally, becomes a thirsty scorer, a guy that needs those shots.
Screened by Nesterovic for Serbiak. And Wally Serbiak from the floor has started 2 of 2.
But Nesterovic is the one that helped on that, and that's what Wally needs a lot more. He needs a lot more help in getting his shots, and by that up-tempo, a lot of times he's left out of the offense. As you see, Nesterovic comes over, sets the screen, gives him a lot of time to be able to get his shot.
Well, where have those screens been in the first 5 games, Coach? You know, Troy Hudson is the one that gets all those screens. Good adjustment by Flip Saunders on this game right there to let Wally Serbiak be the beneficiary of Shaq's man-setting screens.
Devin George the miss. Kevin Garnett his 5th rebound. Hudson, Nesterovic, Gill, Garnett, and Serbiak for Minnesota. That's the Timberwolves 5, approaching 3 to play in the first quarter. It's Gill and Garnett. They doubled a lot the last couple of games, and he tried to kick it outside. Saved by Gill. Shot clock at 5. It's Garnett thinking 3. Deploys a 3. Rebound by Nesterovic, a 3rd offensive rebound. Digging inside for 2.
And it's great effort on his part. Nesterovic shows that he can be a muscle man if Shaquille O'Neal is out at half court.
Nesterovic, Danny, 4 rebounds, 3 on the offensive glass, and 4 points to start the game.
And again, it all starts with body movement and ball movement. They get the Laker defense moving from side to side. You have a chance to retrieve the missed shots.
The Timberwolves facing an elimination game tonight against the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Danny, on Tuesday, Game 5, the Lakers had a pretty good game plan.
Yes, they did. And Kobe, after struggling early in the game with his shoulder, couldn't make a shot, decided to just start attacking the basket through penetration and became the creator. Beautiful assist, good screen by Shaq, finds Shaq on the roll, easy dunk. Then, as he became the creator, the basket opened up and the opportunities came. Moving without the basketball. Then Shaq turns the favor, and then a beautiful drive. They run at him as a scorer. He goes in. He thinks he's going to pass, but nobody covers him up. Nesterovic even thought he was going to pass that ball and didn't foul Kobe going hard to the basket. Tonight he's doing a little bit of both. Started off the way he finished, and I think he discovered something there. And boy, I love how the Lakers also, we talk about Minnesota's movement, Coach, but the Lakers also, Robert Horry, very aggressive offensively, moving without the ball, as is the entire Laker team.
Well, in this game, they have increased their pace too, Danny. They have been playing very slowly. They're pushing it a little faster than they have been.
Fisher with the miss. Newly instated Mark Jackson gets the rebound for Minnesota. Here comes Hudson the other way for the Timberwolves, finding Gill, who is uncovered. And he drills it home, and the Timberwolves have come back to tie the champion Lakers at 23.
That basket was created by Hudson's quick pushing the ball down the floor and demanding that people guard.
Ball pass by Shaquille O'Neal, who sets up Devin George. And George has his first 2 points tonight.
And that's another adjustment. Phil Jackson, we talked about, that's where we like Shaq to catch the ball against the pressure. But if everybody is moving off the pressure, Shaq is a great passer. He's proven that, finding guys for dunks and layups off of the pressure.
Here comes Minnesota, shooting 47% from the field. Shot clock at 2, and Garnett's got a foul. Shot clock violation on Minnesota. That is the first turnover for the Timberwolves tonight.
And here Shaq comes up to relieve the pressure, but there's movement. Continue, look at, and when Shaq is not in the paint, look how much paint room there is for the slashers.
That last turnover by the T-Wolves was a perfect example of Serbiak trying to ask for a screen so that he could get open.
Lakers are shooting 61%. O'Neal's first miss. Another rebound. Doubled and triple teamed inside and foul. Shaq is draped with defenders every time he touches the ball inside the lane.
We had 4 guys on him. You're talking about Drake, that really was covered up.
And Mark Jackson picks up his first foul for Minnesota. Rebounding in the game, Lakers are +2. And that rumble you hear is from Mark Madsen, who is setting to check in the game.
And the crowd loves Mark Madsen because, again, he is the glue. He's the chemistry guy. When this team was struggling, they stuck him in the starting lineup and went on to win 12 of the next 14 games. He is the energizer of this Laker team.
John Danny calls him Elmer's glue. He's sinking to a new low here, wouldn't you say?
Danny sinking to a new low?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's too early in the playoffs to say that. Yeah,
that's a nightly event. His sinking to a new low.
You know, every team has an energizer, though. You know, you look at Bo Outlaw in Phoenix, Ben Wallace in Detroit. Every team has a guy like this.
Bo Outlaw, yeah.
Scott Pollard in Sacramento. I mean,
exactly.
These are guys that are critical for the chemistry of your team, and you got to have them coming off your bench and creating some enthusiasm.
Brian Shaw picks up the foul, and he and Madsen are the new entrants for the Lakers, who go with their starters most of the first quarter. Here's Gill. And off to Kevin Garnett, looking on Madsen. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal, collecting his 5th rebound tonight with 11 points.
And there's a situation where they throw the ball, one pass into Kevin Garnett. He shoots a fadeaway shot. Great if it goes. It's a good shot, but no movement, so no opportunities for offensive rebound.
It's Fisher over Hudson. And Jackson there to get the rebound for Minnesota. A chance to tie now for the Timberwolves, who have led by as many as 1. The Lakers have led by as many as 6 in this first quarter. A screen by Jackson, a 3 by Hudson.
And Hudson's aggressiveness is quite obvious, and I want to repeat again, that's one of the reasons why Serbiak is left out of the offense, because Hudson does a lot of solo stuff.
Speaking of solo stuff right there, what is Kobe doing?
Solo stuff.
Don't they see what Shaq is doing inside in the paint and how easy baskets come when the offense goes through Shaquille?
There are no fouls to give either way. Difference of 4 seconds. Game clock and shot clock winding down the first. Here comes Hudson, a Jackson screen, wheeling around Shaq into the rack for Troy Hudson.
This is amazing. I mean, the Lakers are shooting 53% from the field in this first quarter, having their way, and they're losing. Minnesota has been playing great.
Serbiak may try to beat it with the feed to Hudson for 2. Good! He beats the buzzer again!
This is that out-of-body experience you were talking about, Coach.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what a shocker here in Los Angeles after the first quarter. The Minnesota Timberwolves, facing an elimination game, lead the Lakers by 5 with a 13-2 run to close the first quarter.
And a great steal by Wally Serbiak. Great anticipation. Good find. Hudson, the hot hand.
He's beaten the buzzer 3 times in this series. You're watching the playoffs on TNT. Minnesota outshot the Lakers 52-50 in that first quarter. They out-rebounded Los Angeles by 6. Danny, what else did they do well?
Well, they were just passing the ball. I love the unselfishness of the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's what they're known for. Great chemistry, unselfish, trusting, making the Lakers defend the entire court out there. And we see the passing in the first quarter. They passed the ball more in the first quarter, Coach Thompson, than they had passed the entire Game 5. 3+ passes 6 times, 0 in Game 1 in the first quarter.
See, and by passing the ball, you break down the Lakers. You make them work hard, and that helps your pressure, because by the time they get on offense, these guys are going to be a lot more worn out than they are with a one-pass, one-shoot situation.
Wendell Gill's all over Kobe Bryant. Lakers have missed their last 4 shots. That closed the first quarter for them. Shaw, shot clock at 6. Kobe sheds the defense, and over Garnett nails it. And Kobe Bryant has started 3 of 6. He's got 7 for Minnesota to begin the second quarter. Hudson, Gill, Garnett, Jackson, and Serbiak for the Lakers. Fisher, Ori, Bryant, Manson, and Shaw.
And look what happens. They do not think Wally is a passer, so when he catches the ball in scoring position, they have 3 guys flooded. That's like the blitz of the quarterback.
Jackson banks it home. Count it. And he's fouled on the play by Mark Manson.
And getting back to the ball movement again, one more thing is they have 5 offensive rebounds already too, Coach. Only 9 in Game 5 for the entire game. So not only are they getting better shots, not only is it more fun for everybody to participate in making the Lakers defend, Troy Hudson won't get worn out, Kevin Garnett won't get worn out, and you get more opportunities.
And sometimes the downside of ball movement is that it ends up at the end of the movement in the hands of the wrong people. That's why a lot of guys will handle it who don't want ball movement.
We saw Garnett on the bench, full court pressure by Minnesota, and here comes Fisher. 11 by Shaq, he's on the bench for the Lakers, 14 by Hudson. For Minnesota, he is on the floor, 3 by Derek Fisher, and a rebound by Troy Hudson, his first tonight.
Boy, he didn't even look at that shot. I think he should have taken that shot himself.
Hudson around a screen, doubled the entire way. Joe Smith in the game for the first time. Passes it inside to Jackson. Tip in tried by Smith, who is finally healthy. And Kobe the other way for Los Angeles. Kobe had 32 on Tuesday. Trapped. Here's Ori thinking about 3. Maneuvering for 2. No. Outside to Fisher. Shot clock is at 6. Bryant around the screen. And trapped. Ori's going to have to shoot and try to beat the buzzer. And a shot clock violation on the Lakers. They haven't had too many. Minnesota has had 5 shot clock violations in this series. That's only the second against LA.
And that's an example of that ill-advised ball movement. You'd rather have the ball in Kobe's hand at that point in that time. You got to have the timing of knowing when to stop and put the ball in the hands of a guy to give him enough time to create a shot.
Hudson for 3. Rebound by Shaw. Both teams, Danny, have led by as many as 6 points tonight.
That's an amazing how easy it is to defend the Lakers when Shaq's not on the court, too.
Yeah, good point. Shaw trying to chisel his way inside and hit Serbiak. Rebound by Wally Serbiak. Minnesota is +5 in rebounding.
Brian Shaw is like Phil Jackson's emergency player. He doesn't play him. You can tell every time that he's in early in a game, that's an important game.
He's his balance wheel.
Well, the other side of the defensive aspect of the Lakers is that when Shaq is not in the game, the other team has a post-up player there.
At the other end, some stifling Los Angeles defense at the other end. And the Lakers come to within a 33-29 reach of Minnesota.
And a good hustle play. The entire Laker defense right there. But Mark Manson, seeing that ball loose, looked up the court, saw Robert Horry.
Oh, what an elbow, an inverted elbow into Manson's face. Then Jackson, who needs to keep his composure right now.
Well, especially while Shaq is not in there, Jackson has a chance to dominate.
Yes.
There was a little bit of acting going on that too, but that was very smart of Manson. But Jackson doesn't want to lose control of himself now. He has a chance to be the physical force with Shaq not in the game.
Ron Strickland now checks in for Minnesota. Troy Hudson will take a breather. He's got a game-high 14. Shaq on the bench with 11, as we said. And here comes Los Angeles. They're shooting 48% from the floor.
And right there, Manson, he gets the steal the time before, looks for Horry up the court, right there creates a turnover, getting Mark Jackson into fouling him.
Kobe Bryant. A little shove by Gill, a little hand check and a little foul.
Well, the difference in that possession is it wasn't as not much pass, and they post Kobe that time, or you got to clear out for him, particularly if Shaq's not in the game.
Horry does a good job of stripping Hudson. They're starting to pay a little more attention. But look at Manson beat Joe Smith to that ball and just muscle him out of the way.
The Lakers can close out the series tonight with the win, but Minnesota has come out sharp. They lead at 33-29 on TNT. Moments ago during the timeout, official Bennett Salvatore had a little conversation with the Timberwolves' Troy Hudson.
On top of the free throw line, we don't want anybody touching anybody. Incidental contact is one thing, but we don't want a hand stain on it. We don't want a pusher.
That's what he's doing.
Well, let's put it this way. You did it once, he did it once.
Okay.
So let's leave it there.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Very nice. Craig?
Troy Hudson thanking the referee. We mentioned how long it's taken him to get into the NBA. One of his stints was with the LA Clippers, where he was close friends with Jimmy Clemens, assistant coach for the Lakers. And Jimmy said before the game tonight he had to totally change his scouting report. He knew he could penetrate and knew he'd like to shoot, but he did not know he was that aggressive, and the confidence soaring. He said, what we have done is we have fanned the flame. We have made him into a superstar. He now believes it. We have to get up on him and don't give him anything.
He's got 14 points. Yeah, exactly. Lakers are at about 50% shooting from the floor tonight. Minnesota comes the other way. They're shooting right at 50% from the field. Shaq in the game with 13.
Well, the big fella's back in the whole game is going to change again because now he's the only post-up guy that's going to be on the floor.
Serbiak, Danny, is 2 of 3.
Well, that's a good execution coming out of the timeout. That's the kind of shots Wally is going to knock down. But again, Joe Smith, they better give Shaq some help with Joe Smith defending him down there. He has 100 pounds on him.
Devin George missing a 3. Shaq inside, held by Joe Smith and fouled by Joe Smith. By the way, on Tuesday night, the Lakers from three-point territory went 12 of 23, and tonight, Los Angeles 1 of 6. The 3-ball was fallen on Tuesday, and the jury's out tonight, Game 6.
Well, that's because, they're not double. They don't want to let him have the open threes. That's one thing. But they're allowing one-on-one action of Shaq, and I thought Nesterovic did a good job, but he's just getting way too good a position on Joe Smith.
Yeah, and he's got 2 options, too. You either hold Shaq or you duck.
There's Bryant through traffic and knifes his way for 2. Kobe Bryant's got 9.
Well, Kevin, and Shaq enables that a lot of times because he draws so much attention that now it opens up the way for Kobe to be able to penetrate.
Okay, Serbiak is bleeding from the neck, and they're going to give a timeout to the Timberwolves. They have already put some medication on there to stop the bleeding, and it is a pretty good scrape, as you can see Blaine Reichelt taking a look at. You see a little scrape there under his chin? And moments ago he was being tended to on the Timberwolves.
That's just a little scratch. Who's the vampire out there on the court?
Sideline.
Quit checking the blood. Check the fingernails of the players out there.
How things have changed. They didn't even stop games years ago for that little bit of blood.
Lakers on a 6-0 run. Under 8 to play in the half. It's Kevin Garnett corkscrewing up a shot with the rebound, reeled in by Devin George.
Well, I think they started stopping games when people started dying from blood.
Lakers have hit 1-3. Minnesota has hit 2 3-point shots tonight. This is Shaq with 13, a Laker high. Quickly double. Tried to slip it inside to George and out of bounds. Off Minnesota's shot clock at 7.
And I like the movement. The Lakers are not settling for just the 3-point shots, which they do a lot. When you have Robert Horry, Fisher, and Fox on the court a lot, they actually just settle for a lot of 3-point shots when they double Shaq. But right now we've seen Kobe catch the ball and attack the rotators.
The foul on Gill. They've almost got to play Gill because Anthony Peeler has been so ineffective shooting it. He's become more of a liability now, when before he was a breath of fresh defensive air in Game 2.
How soon we forget the overtime 4 points Anthony Peeler had and carried his team to victory when Kevin Garnett was in foul trouble. But I agree, he's been shooting the ball not very well, Kevin. But you know what? Anthony Peeler's proven throughout his career he can make shots and he can make big shots. And I just think he needs more touches, more involvement, and maybe the fact that he's got such attention on Kobe Bryant.
Peeler's back in as Brian Shaw puts the Lakers up by 2.
And that's what the Lakers need. You need those guys who we so-called role players have to step up and complement Shaquille O'Neal and Bryant.
Timberwolves have missed their last 4 consecutive shots. It's Anthony Peeler. He saw Shaq in front and retreats. Out of bounds off Los Angeles. Shot clock at 6. Big clock at 7:01.
It's very difficult for a guy like Anthony Peeler when you've got to concentrate so much and focus on Kobe to get himself in the mindset to become offensive minded. And that's what he's doing. Kobe's ability absorbs so much of your attention that it's had an effect on his offense.
Well, plus he's been in kind of a season-long shooting slump, but he can make shots.
Peeler with the miss outside.
I guarantee if you give him 6 more of those, he's going to make at least 2 and maybe 3 more of those shots. So I trust Peeler's shot.
Rebound by Serbiak out there with Strickland, Nesterovic, Garnett, and Peeler with the ball.
I just hope he trusts it.
He's a scorer. He's a shooter. He'll be shooting all night long. Strickland for 2. And Rod Strickland playing with a bad groin. Most of the second half of the season comes up, and he has given this team wonderful minutes off the bench. That's the first field goal for Minnesota in over 5 minutes in this first half.
But that's because of Strickland's head. Anytime a guy is able to play as much as he is, hobbling the way he is, it's got to be because mentally he's making a contribution that's just as significant as his physical contribution.
Kobe Bryant working on the defense of Anthony Peeler. Got him to jump, no foul. Two-pointer won't go. Rebound Nesterovic, who is shoved by Shaq, or was it the other way around? Was it Nesterovic on Shaq?
That's a terrible shot. Shaq has post position. He's dominating. Threw the ball back out to Kobe. He had nothing. Throw the ball back into Shaq.
That's what Shaq is saying, too.
No question.
Give the ball back to me.
We're tied at 35 in Los Angeles. At 35 apiece, both teams have led by as many as 6 points apiece. O'Neal has put in 13 for Los Angeles. Hudson has put in 14 for Minnesota. After that timeout, it's Fisher. And George. Garnett back in, and he's out there carding. Joe Smith back in, and double team Shaq with Nesterovic and Smith right in his face, puts it in.
Well, and Shaq is very lively on his feet, too, now, because he turned out the baseline on him and turned away from the double team.
Here's Garnett. A little bit of a screen from Nesterovic and a rebound by Robert Horry.
What really surprises me is that Horry is not aggressive at all offensively. He's really passive, just as I said.
Horry for three began the series, missing 12 straight three-point shots. A miss there by Fisher. A volleyball by Shaw, picked up by the swirling Peeler, and ahead to Strickland, who saves it.
Good play by Peeler right there, running down that loose ball. Just got it a little bit out ahead of Strickland, or he might have had an opportunity.
Slapped away by Horry and picked up inside by Smith. And a turnover for Minnesota, number 5. Lakers have turned it over twice.
Smith is light on his feet right there. He got shoved easy. His lower body was moving him out of the way.
That's the turnover story. Not a lot of free throws either way. Both teams have taken 5 free throws apiece. Lakers have made 2. Minnesota's made 3.
This has been a good game so far.
Yeah.
Both teams playing well, playing hard. Officials doing a great job. This has been an exciting game.
Hudson back in after the Laker turnover, just their 3rd tonight. Hudson converting with the game-high 16 at the other end. And he is 6 of 9 from the floor.
And his quickness is very obvious out there. There's no one on the Lakers team that can compare with him in terms of just foot quickness once he gets the ball or once he tries to make a steal.
Shaq again, who opened the game 5 of 5. And now for the night, he is 7 of 10. Strickland into Garnett and shoved while he was airborne by George. Still tries to maneuver and still knocks it down.
What do you call that shot? By George.
By George, he put it in.
By George in heavy traffic also.
That's the first field goal by Garnett since 4.5 minutes remained in the first quarter. Another miss by George. Another rebound by Smith. Under 4 to play in the half. Smith left uncovered.
Holy cow.
Had too much thinking time on that shot. You leave a guy open that long, sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on him.
I think it has a lot to do with he's been in the weight room at the other end of the court defending Shaq.
Oh, look at O'Neal. Dive inside the lane.
Big fella is moving lightly on his feet right now.
You keep getting easy baskets like that, high percentage, you're going to just cause the defense to just keep collapsing, and then Shaq can become the creator.
Hudson, doubled by Horry. Into Smith. Shaq scrapes him and knocks the ball away and draws the foul. That is Shaq, who picks up his first foul. Here's some Lamisel footwork at work.
Shaq is not only big, he is very fundamentally sound. He does a great job of spinning Nesterovic, so he's so thin, Shaq just gets him on his hip and there's no way to recover.
Well, and when he's moving lightly on his feet the way he is today, he's really dangerous because not only is he strong and tall, then he becomes in motion, and that kind of weight in motion the way he is very dangerous to defend.
Joe Smith puts in his first free throw of this series. Brian Shaw checks out. Kobe checks in. Kobe joining Fisher, Shaq, George, and Horry. The Timberwolves with Garnett, Nesterovic, Smith, Strickland, and Hudson. Hudson was 16 for Minnesota. Shaq was 17 for Los Angeles. Joe Smith again. And the Wolves lead by 2 Minnesota has outscored the Laker bench. The Wolves bench has outscored the Laker bench 9-2 in this game so far.
Minnesota goes back in the zone on the made basket. I was looking for them to press, wondered why they ran back, but they've gone back into his own defense.
And I think, Coach, the one thing is with the...
That was a great pass by Shaq, and a foul is called on the Timberwolves as they tried to block out a driving Laker.
And I think it's a great adjustment by Flip Saunders because he realizes his team was exhausted after Game 5. They had expended so much energy in their full court pressure. Now he's actually giving them a chance to conserve some energy by dropping back into the zone at this time of the game.
Now they go man-to-man, Danny, on the inbound.
Changing defenses, a new concept to the NBA. You had to face that a lot in the college ranks.
Well, and I wondered why a lot more NBA teams didn't do it, particularly when you got a Shaquille O'Neal that's indefensible with one man.
That is the second shot clock violation by Phil Jackson's Lakers tonight. Shaq has been tough. He has gone 8 of 12 with 17 points and 7 rebounds as he buzzsaws Minnesota's middle. Timeout in Los Angeles.
As a center position, you have to get the ball. And I would like to get the ball in a position to where I could do something with it. You know, not get a messed up pass to where I have to change my position and then 2, 3, and 4 guys come. In order for me to be who I am, I have to get the ball. I'm not the type of player that runs up and down the court 5 or 10 minutes without touching the ball. I'm not a token big man. I need the ball to do what I do.
And he has been rollicking in the middle tonight as he has touched it 22 times. And he has scored very well with 17 points in the first half so far.
Well, and it's not an easy skill hitting the post guy, too, because most times the perimeter guys are being guarded the way post guys you wouldn't think about throwing them the ball, but the post guy has a guy laying on his back, and it takes a skillful passer to hit him at the right angle, the right place.
The Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers, the 2 highest scoring teams so far in the playoffs. We're approaching 2.5 to play in the half, and a whistle away from the ball, and a foul is on Minnesota. Joe Smith picks up his 3rd foul as he takes a little swipe.
I think Joe put a little tickle in there, just a little tickle.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, whether it was or not, Fisher was going to go to the wood again.
And that's amazing how the veteran players will accentuate fouls where rookies will try to be very macho and break through, but you touch a veteran, he'll fall out on the floor and you'll think that he was really abused.
I'll tell you what, Coach, I have to disagree with you on the pass to Shaq. I mean, post passing is not as easy as some people think, but when you're throwing that ball to Shaq, he's like the easiest target in the world to hit down there on the block.
Lakers are shooting 45%, and here's George, who works on Gill, goes by Gill and sails in for 2.
You hear Ames talking about passing to somebody?
I know.
How would he know? He never passed the ball.
Exactly. He's never passed a day in his life. It's Garnett doubled. Rebound by Fisher inside. And to Shaq at the other end with a series of fakes. Tip and try by Kobe, and he climbs the back and picks up the foul. Bryant's first. Both teams shooting 45% from the floor.
Minnesota's doing a good job of recovering out to the shooters. Good ball move by the Lakers, but Devin George does a great job putting it on the ground and just attacking. Goes right by Garnett to the rim.
And that's needed, too. George has definitely got to step his game up because he's got to compensate for how a guy like Kobe and Shaq are being guarded.
Lakers are -1 in rebounding tonight. Bryant. The dance, the corner. It's as if he's in slow motion. Kobe sometimes hanging in midair, and he brings the Lakers on top by 2.
And the one thing you really know is all of a sudden this guy's going to break loose.
Hudson to the rack and swatted away by Shaquille O'Neal.
That's the way you treat a little guy when he comes into that paint.
Shaq got away with a foul right there. He got a hand on the ball, an armpit on his head right here. Look at that, right there.
Just put a little poke chop on him, a little chop.
Shot clock at 13. Here's Garnett, who's been quiet in this second quarter. He's got 8. And around Shaq, passing by him, and finger rolls it up. And Garnett now with 10 points and 7 rebounds in the first half.
No way Kevin Garnett should be able to do all of that dribbling and moving without Shaq getting some help, though.
I like the way Minnesota's playing. I know I've kept saying that. I mean, everybody, Garnett, he's a guy that's going to get you 25 by not going to him every night, and he might get you 35 if you go to him every single time. But right now, everybody's participating.
And a steal. Fisher.
I tell you, Fisher has been very significant for this team.
Lakers by 4. Hudson and Minnesota want a timeout. A good time to take one because momentum now beginning to change. That move by Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, can you appreciate, can you even fathom what it's like for a man that big, 363 pounds, to move that deftly inside the lane?
Right here, this is a tough. Kobe's got all that room to work with. But great defense by Kendall Gill. I don't think you can do anything else. Kobe shoots it on the way down, hanging in the air. And then Garnett, he goes through the entire Laker team. Good screen by Nesterovic. Gets Shaq up in the air, steps through. Here comes the third player over. His length, easy basket for Garnett.
But watch this one right here. Watch the footwork here. Man is so big and the touch so pure.
It's so dangerous when he's able to move like that with that kind of agility.
That is really fun to watch.
Kevin, that's what he was not doing when he came back from his foot injury.
Right.
You see him strengthening more and more now with that, and that's not a good sign for whoever they're going to play against.
Timberwolves have never played in a Game 6. They are tonight against the 3-time defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers. This is Hudson, who has led Minnesota in scoring tonight. He has put in 16, doubled by Shaq and Fisher. They got Orion Garnett, lasers a pass inside, ending up the kill, and he can't beat the buzzer. A shot clock violation. That's number 6 of the series, and each team has been buzzered tonight twice.
I thought that pass came late from Garnett. Nesterovic, they ran and executed a play perfectly. Garnett got the ball too late to Nesterovic. When he saw the guy coming to double, he was forced to pass it. I thought the ball should have came right away, and Nesterovic had the jump hook.
Kobe Bryant. Quickly doubled his Shaq. Here's Fisher outside for 3. Throws up an air ball. Caught by Kevin George. Shot clock will be at 11.
Well, the great thing about this Minnesota team that they've come out and sustained their intensity in both ends of the court.
That is out of bounds and off of Los Angeles as Kobe tried to pull out some kind of acrobatic move inside.
That was a really bad shot. You can just say it that way.
Los Angeles has a foul to give. Here comes Hudson. And Fisher just kind of brushes Hudson as he made a move inside. He told you they have a foul to give. Kobe on this move, I mean, he gives you a different move with every part of his body. When he does something like that, it's so hard to defend.
Well, he wanted the ref to bail him out on that. I mean, there might have been some contact, and he might have a complaint. But the bottom line is that's just a bad shot.
I can't tell when it is a bad shot or a good shot with Kobe because he's a bad shot maker.
Well, since he made 12 for 15 in Game 1, he's shooting in the low 30% in this series.
Serbiak knocked away by Ori, picked up by George. They'll try to beat. Oh, he loses the ball. Garnett swats it away on a buzzer-beating attempt by Devin George.
Devin George was trying to put on a highlight film, trying to farm the ball. He should have taken it in because he did hustle to get it and go in and make a layup.
That was a fun first half.
See, he's going to the one hand rather than just take the ball up and make the layup, get the basket.
Needs a little glue on those fingers.
Derek Fisher finishes the first half with 7. He is standing by with R. Craig Sager.
Well, Derek, the big fella said he wanted the ball. He's got 19 at the half. Is that the offense in the second half, or we let Kobe take over like he has in the third quarter in past games?
No, we're always our plan is always to get the ball inside first, and he showed his dominance. In order for us to win this game, we're going to have to keep getting the ball in, outside, back in.
You've kind of changed your defensive assignments and also your attention to Troy Hudson. What have you been doing differently tonight?
Well, he came out early and hit 3 or 4 shots, and since then, just trying to be more aggressive, keep my body on him. I picked up an early foul, so I had to back off for a few minutes, but now I can get back up with only 2 fouls in the first half.
Speaking of getting back up, you landed on your head. You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. My head normally can stand just about anything, so I think you better check the floor better than my head.
All right, thanks a lot. Kevin.
Oh, Craig, the Timberwolves led 41-39 at one time. Then Los Angeles closes out the quarter with an 8-2 run. Ernie Johnson, the Timberwolves facing elimination tonight. They trail at halftime 47-43. As big as Shaq, any town is your town. 47-43, the champion Los Angeles Lakers with the lead. We'll be heading to the third quarter moments from now. Here's the Home Depot halftime statistical look. Hands off turnovers, a little disparity there. Points in the paint. Shaq and Kobe 58% combined in this first half that we have just departed. John, your thoughts on Shaq?
Well, the thing that's been so impressive is the freedom that he's had, because you see a lot of agility, particularly a lot of foot movement. Anytime Shaq can afford to move his feet that much, because usually he's collided by 4 people, it's a danger sign for the opponent, because sooner or later Kobe is going to accompany him. Dan, you were talking about Troy Hudson to begin the game, and he has answered the bell.
Well, he's kept him in the game. He's had the out-of-body experience Coach Thompson was talking about early in the game, and but they got to quit turning the ball over. 9 turnovers too many, 10 points. They got to play perfect basketball, but nobody even thought this team would be here, the chance to win this game tonight.
Right. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Flip Saunders pointed out the fact that Rick Fox isn't playing, which we know, but he also pointed out that all 5 starters for the Lakers have played over 21 minutes. He feels that they may have a fatigue factor later. We did not see a lot of full court pressure, more of a token of the first half. Look for Minnesota to put more pressure on the Lakers and possibly tire them out. Meanwhile, we talk about Wally Szczerbiak being more of an offensive threat. He only has 2 of 3 from the floor, only 3 field goal attempts, but that does not bother Flip at all. He says he's been moving the ball extremely well. He's been doing other things. He has 3 assists, 4 rebounds, and he's happy with the way Wally played in the first half. Kevin?
All right, Craig, thank you. Lakers have won 17 of their last 18 games in this building going back to the end of the regular season. Pretty impressive numbers. Minnesota won 1 game here in the playoffs already. That was game 3, an overtime battle. And Garnett fouled out of the overtime very early. Lakers lead this series 3-2. And some of the numbers on Shaq as you really break down what his performance has been all about in the first half.
No, that means
he's getting plenty of touches.
Exactly, he's getting his touches, but that also means that the other players should be in a situation where they can contribute a lot more, because anytime Shaq is moving as freely as he is, you know what happened at halftime. You're going to crowd him a little bit, so some of the other role players have to really step up, but you can expect Kobe to step up too now.
Here we go, beginning our second half. The Lakers with George, Bryant, Fisher, Shaq, and Robert Horry, who finds Shaq, who's doubled it back out to Robert Horry. And he finds his shooting touch from that distance for the first time. He scored inside. He's got 6 for the night, and the Lakers extend their lead, equaling by their largest margin of 6 tonight.
That's why they have 3 rings right there. I mean, you go inside, they let Shaq play one-on-one early. He dominates. They go double team right away. Robert Horry, the guy you want shooting the shot, knocks down the shot.
See how much time Szczerbiak took. His patience looks like it's more in focus tonight than it has been in this series.
Well, he definitely got time that time, but I don't think that Szczerbiak has been in their offensive plans. He's come under a lot of criticism. They've relied a lot on what Hudson is doing. You've got to help Szczerbiak if you want him to score.
It's Devin George against Wally Szczerbiak. Rebound fought for, reeled in by Garnett. Dumps it off to George. Nice pass by Shaquille O'Neal.
Great effort by George to just stay involved in the play. Not only to tip the ball and keep it alive, but to get back into it and get inside the defense for the easy basket.
Timberwolves out there with Hudson, Garnett, Szczerbiak, Nesterovic, and Anthony Pila to begin the second half. Horry had the steal, and Garnett, it's going to be on Horry. Horry picks up his second foul tonight.
And a good job right here. Shaq runs it down, but then you watch, you can't really see. Devin George comes in and slashes in front of Peeler. Peeler had to guard 2 guys on that play, and George was moving well without the ball. But Wally is playing a good game. I agree with Flip Saunders. You can't force to get Wally shots. If they're defending you a certain way, you got to take what's there. But already that first possession, it wasn't like in the first part of the game when they started moving the ball and getting everybody acclimated to touching it again.
Timberwolves have 10 turnovers. Lakers have 4. Kobe Bryant for 3.
See, and that's why the Timberwolves have to sustain their defense, because Kobe is a second-half player. He's going to break loose and really start to try to score a lot more.
Well, Kobe is the second leading scorer in the league. He's averaging 30 points a game. How does the guy get so wide open?
Here's Garnett galloping inside and jumping for a shot. Lakers have their biggest lead. They've got a 4-on-3 here. George, Fisher for 2. And George, back to Fisher for three.
That was why he missed the first one. It was on the line. It didn't get his range down.
And you can't underestimate the contribution Fisher has made either to this Laker team by stepping up.
The Los Angeles Lakers have their biggest lead tonight, 57-45, as they try to clinch this series against Minnesota. Timeout. Guys, the Timberwolves may have reached a crossroads in this game.
Well, I like that huddle, though. I mean, they actually are charged up. You know, they're trying to respond because this is a crucial point. They could go flat. This crowd is involved in it.
Got to quit turning the ball over. Good defense by the Lakers, but 15 points off of turnovers, 5 straight points. Those have killed the Timberwolves.
This is Kevin Garnett, quickly doubled and splits that. Here's Serbiak, Nesterovic, and Anthony Peeler on the fly, and that is good news. When he scores, things happen, and that's his first 2 tonight.
And particularly because that was a very good defensive possession by the Lakers, and Peeler still came out of it and came up with something.
Here comes Fisher the other way. Fisher in this series, by the way, 21 of 34 shooting threes. Bryant launches a three. Rebound by Nesterovic in Minnesota.
And good job with Nesterovic right there. He boxed Shaq out. Shaq started retreating, thinking that Nesterovic would lose contact. He kept contact with Shaq.
Nesterovic has 6 rebounds across the lane. Rebound by O'Neal. And in this game, the Lakers are +3 in rebounding. They come the other way. Los Angeles does, shooting 47% from the field.
And they can't afford to have shots like that. Nesterovic needs to shoot the ball when he's open, but not when he's covered.
Shaq with the miss. Rebound by Minnesota. Here comes Peeler. Timberwolves shooting 45% from the floor.
And it's very crucial to see if they can respond to that attack that was made by the Lakers.
Nesterovic. And a jump ball, Fisher and Wally Serbiak. Nice defense by Derek Fisher.
Well, nice defense, Kevin, as you said, by the Lakers, too, because they've become very active defensively. The hands in passing lanes, they definitely are playing defense with more intensity.
Well, Nesterovic had Devin George on his back right there. He should have been celebrating that he didn't have Shaquille O'Neal to move around. He hesitated. He allowed the double team to come down instead of just turning and shooting right over Devin.
And there's a mismatch in size in a jump ball like that. You lose nothing by violating if you're the Lakers because all the opponent gets is an inbound.
One by Minnesota, shot clock at 13. Here comes Hudson, he's got 16 points. Now Nesterovic uncovered and just belts in his 6th point tonight with 6 rebounds.
And see, that's his shot. He can make that shot. I thought the one where he tried to create off the dribble against Ori with 20 seconds on the shot clock was a horrible possession.
And that's also the place where Shaq doesn't want to go out and guard him, because if he gets that consistently, he can create some problems.
Robert Ori, Shaq was almost knocking out 2 defenders, and 8 points now in the game for Robert Ori.
I'm sorry, that's what I've been looking for from Ori, because Ori's been standing out just passing. He's too good of an offensive player.
I've been looking for that at Ori for the last 10 years. Why he doesn't. He gets so many open looks. He takes shots at the end of the game. But he can make those shots. He's an open jump shooter to all the big shots he's made. But like we said last game, sometimes the big shots you make are the beginning of a second half or even the beginning of a game.
Anthony Peeler with the miss. Kevin Garnett gets his 8th rebound tonight. Keeping it alive. Peeler for 2. He's missed 2 straight. They need his scoring so badly, and they're just not getting it. Kobe Bryant! Shaquille O'Neal! Oh, the rim is rocking!
That was a great pass.
He started licking his fingers, Kevin, at the top of the key.
And Shaq's talking about getting the ball where he can score. That's a perfect pass by Kobe Bryant.
Here's Serbiak. Kobe Bryant, 6 assists tonight. Shaq with the rejection and the subsequent foul.
Kobe changes to his left hand to get the passing angle right here. He only couldn't have done it with his right around the long Kevin Garnett. Shaq running the floor. He's having some fun.
Oh, boy.
But, you know, Kobe tonight, it seems to me, maybe more than any other game in this series, has come out thinking pass first and then score.
Well, he did that. He did that before, but then he'll look for his shots.
Yeah, he'll do that like twice, and then he's going to jack up a bad shot over the defense.
Well, he's got a series high, 6 assists tonight.
No, hey, Kobe is a fantastic player. You know, every great player is going to take some bad shots, and Kobe's still shooting a good percentage tonight, 6 for 12. But he's made 1 tough shot. the little double pump in the lane, but every time he's had an open look, with the exception of that last three-pointer, he's knocked in on it.
Great players have a tendency to redefine what a bad shot and a good shot is, too, because they can make shots that lesser athletes and people with less ability cannot make.
Wendell Gill is in. Peeler is out. Starovich is out. Jackson is in. Knows the changes for Minnesota. Here comes Bryant. Makes a move by Gill. Intercepted by Hudson, who goes against Ori. Gallop together to the other end, and Robert Ori comes up with a spectacular defensive play. And the hustle of Derek Fisher right behind him. Right into Craig Sager. Gonna ruin that nice suit.
They'd spill some soda pop on that sport jacket.
This is a great play by Ori, though. He ran, timed it, didn't put his body on him at all, and blocked that shot.
And look at Fisher hustle back. He was behind Zerbiak right there. Beat him to the ball.
Lakers have led by as many as 12. Minnesota has led by as many as 6.
Those are the little plays that win. They don't show up in the stat sheet right there. Derek Fisher hustling down that rebound. Robert Ori, good job of stopping the basket.
The particular angle that Ori came from is very easy for him to have picked up a foul. He timed it as soon as the offensive guy committed, he blocked the shot.
Jackson. Kevin Garnett with 10 points. Feed Zerbiak. Picked up by Ori. Nice defense by Shaq inside as Kobe meanders the other way.
And waits for Shaq.
Yes, he does. Into Ori. What a pass by Kobe Bryant with his 7th assist tonight.
Not only a great pass, but what a great read by Robert Ori. He went over there, saw how that they were going to jump Kobe on the pick and roll, just slipped it, made a spectacular read.
Jackson uncovered. Garnett punches it out of bounds. Kobe Bryant's numbers tonight: 14 points, 7 assists, and 1 rebound.
And watch how he comes over to set the screen, and he just slips it. Doesn't even set the screen. Gets the easy basket. Spectacular play.
The Los Angeles Lakers are hovering over their 13th consecutive playoff series win. 6:22 to play in the third quarter. They've got their biggest lead tonight of 13.
I think we definitely want to win this basketball game tonight. I don't know if, we've won 2 games in their building, but to put ourselves in that position, percentages wouldn't quite be in our favor to have to go back to Minneapolis. So the mental state is one of definitely anticipation of the opportunity, but at the same time, I think we're relaxed and we're aware of what the circumstances are.
And I was aware of Derek Fisher. Remember in the first half, he hit his head on the floor. He said, "Nothing hurts my head. You better check the floor." When I saw him coming head first in, Coach, I bailed out like I would if Shaq came down the lane.
Yeah, our question is, did he spill on your threads, Craig? Are you still clean?
Hey, Craig,
yes.
I want to ask you one more question. Does it look like the Lakers are tired right now with all those minutes they played in the first half?
It's still the third quarter. We'll find out in the fourth.
Here's Fisher to George after that break.
Good answer, Craig.
Approaching the halfway point of the third quarter. Kobe from way outside. Oh, he drills it from what had to be 26 feet away.
Kobe time is coming now.
Minnesota has missed their last 5 shots. They shot 52% in the first quarter and 32% since that time. Out of bounds, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
I always thought those were some of the easiest shots to make when the shot clock was down and you had to shoot. From the distance, you had no conscience, even the tiny little bit that you might have.
I thought you were getting ready to say that was one of those bad shots he was taking.
No, because the shot clock was down.
Kevin Garnett tries to put up something that bounces around, as you can see. Out of bounds off Minnesota. Garnett tonight, 5 of 13, 10 points. The Timberwolves have been outscored in this third quarter, 19-7.
And you want to see right now whether the Timberwolves still have that little energy in their defense that they've had, or are they going to collapse?
Bryant deploys a 3. Shaq gets the offensive rebound.
And that's just a mismatch in size. The ball Shaq just reached over Jackson. Jackson had him boxed out to it.
It becomes a double for Hudson. He gets a club in the face. That's a foul on Hudson. He may have lost a tooth.
Might have lost a head.
Might have lost his head, that's right.
That's the out-of-the-body experience you're talking about.
Out-of-head experience. Watch it.
Oh, watch your lips.
Cover your head.
See, those little guys come in there messing around when you turn into the basket. You're 7-footer, you're carrying 3+. You know, you're supposed to taste his head a little bit.
How much you think he weighs, Coach?
I'm not going to guess that.
Champ?
Yeah.
Whatever he weighs, he carries it extremely well.
Singer would know what he weighs.
What do you figure?
What do you think, Craig? What do you think Shaq's coming in at tonight? Neal missing right there. Craig, what do you think?
We talked to Mark Jackson about his role guarding Shaq, and he said that I weigh 250, and I know Shaq weighs easily more than 100 more than I do, probably 125. So according to Mark Jackson, he battles with, he weighs 375.
375.
I agree, Coach. He is in good shape, too.
Carries it. He's getting better and better the longer he's been back from his injury.
Serbian Gill with the fake. 1 second on the shot clock, and Kendall Gill beats it. He's got 4 points and 2 of 4 from the field.
Well, this Laker team is motivated. They are all over the place defensively.
Lakers have hit 4 3-point shots. Nice fake by Kobe Bryant inside as he was shifting gears. How about the Lakers? They aren't giving up with their defense at all, flying out on the shooters of Minnesota.
And they're contesting everything. Kendall Gill, you see 2 seconds, 1 second before he gets the shot off. They had to earn that basket. Long jumper, and you see Kobe, he's just in attack mode. I think they know San Antonio won their game, and they don't want to have San Antonio have any advantage going into the next series.
Timberwolves have only hit 2 threes. They're set before by the Lakers. Departure from the 12 3-point shots LA made on Tuesday. Horry throws it away inside. Here comes Minnesota with Kevin Garnett. Finding Jackson, lost it out of bounds. Oh, and Gill goes tumbling into the photographers. He is slow to get him.
Jackson right here.
Turnovers, 11 for Minnesota, just 7 for Los Angeles. Lakers didn't turn the ball over all that much on Tuesday night either.
And the Lakers are so much more quicker than they were in the earlier season, earlier series defensively. I mean, your rotations that you guys brought out are there. Everybody's snapping, waving hands and passing lanes.
See those 7 turnovers by Los Angeles? That's all they committed in Game 5 Tuesday. They got 7 tonight. Robert Horry. Rebound by Shaq, and Minnesota let him get that ball. There's the flip behind the hand and a foul as Jackson and Kobe Bryant go tumbling out. And that is on Kobe in his second. Well, just frustration, guys, or?
Well, I think it was just a play right here. He came over the top of him, and Jackson thought he was going to land on him. I don't. That's nothing. That's just.
And it's got to be something wrong if there's not that kind of intensity in a playoff basketball game.
Troy Hudson has cooled down. He has foul out there by Fisher, who's guarding him up on the arc, and that's the third on Derek Fisher. Hudson had a 14-point first quarter, 2 in the second, nothing so far here in the third. We're at 3:52.
That was great defense right there by Fisher. I don't know what he fouled him with. I guess his sternum, but he kept his chest right in front of Fisher.
The other thing that's happened to Fisher, too, I think the team defense has responded very well.
Kevin Garnett, 12 points, 16 by Hudson. Those are the 2 high scorers for Minnesota. 22 for O'Neal, 17 for Kobe. 18. There's Horry. Dumps it off to Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, the travel. Right? Yeah, wipe it away. Will not count. Let's count the steps here, John. Yeah.
That's not a travel.
I don't think so either. I don't never think a big guy travels as being beaten and pushed the way he is being beaten and pushed.
Garnett with the Jackson screen. Where's the intensity for the Timberwolves? I mean, they're actually both teams looking like flat right now. Rebound by Horry.
Well, and the Lakers have deflated a little bit. You're absolutely correct, Kevin. The Timberwolves definitely have to step up.
Robert Horry missing right there. Rebound by Garnett. Danny, how hard is it to be a pressure defensive team all game long?
Well, I don't think it's that hard. They're not playing full court pressure defense.
Fisher fakes the 3, maneuvering for 2.
It's only hard, Kevin, if you don't get steals and make baskets. When you make baskets, it rejuvenates the thing and gives it energy.
Yeah, or even stops. You know, just getting stops in your defense and your effort is rewarded. I think you're supposed to play it for 48 minutes.
Jackson already slapping that ball away. Minnesota is the best shooting team in the playoffs so far, 47%. But tonight, the Timberwolves are shooting 41% from the field.
But the good thing about that possession, even though a foul was made, is that the help came. Shaq should be helped when his man is dribbling the basketball because he can take care of the air, the top part of the defense.
Or he's got 3 fouls.
I want to see Minnesota start playing, though. I mean, I don't sense it. I don't sense the urgency and the desperate. You know, just they're not frantic enough out there. They're not crazy and wild enough.
Free throws tonight. Timberwolves 6 of 10. Lakers 3 of 7.
And I know Anthony Peeler has been struggling with his outside shot, but I think that the only way they can win, in my opinion, is if he gets hot. If he comes in and hits 3 out of 5 threes and gets hot, because I think he is capable of doing that, even though he's been shooting bad, because I don't know anyone else that's going to do that other than Hudson and Peeler.
Johnson and Shaw check in for Los Angeles. Checking out George and Ori. Gill, Smith, Hudson, Garnett, and Jackson, the Minnesota 5. Approaching 2 to play here in this third quarter from downtown Los Angeles.
Great footwork Garnett has for a guy with that kind of size on the perimeter.
Kobe with the miss. Gill's got the ball and a foul on Kobe Bryant. And Kobe picks up number 3.
You know, is that the question I have there is, I admire Kevin Garnett picking Brian Shaw full court, wearing him out, dribbling him. Now Kevin Garnett's breathing hard. Is that a good source, or is that a good use of his energy? Your best player on the team to do that. They have a whole group of bench players over there that can pressure Brian Shaw full court.
Well, and a lot of it depends on whether it's a transitional defensive situation, because a lot of times you don't have the luxury of getting your own guy in transition defense. You have to claim the immediate danger. The thing that's so gifted about him, though, is that he has the ability to do it. Most guys his size are terrified when they have to guard somebody on the perimeter like that.
It's the All-Star game, MVP. You watched it on TNT from Atlanta back in February. It was Kevin Garnett. He will be one of the top 3 vote getters for the MVP this season in the NBA.
And here he goes again.
Made baskets. You're right, Danny. Absolutely.
Going to pick up Brian Shaw. You know, I think Kevin Garnett likes this kind of matchup much more than he likes a physical player on the inside.
Madsen. And Shaq, who's got 22. Lost it.
Well, that should have happened. He should have lost it because you can't let Shaq dribble as he please. They let him do that early in the game.
Garnett floats in, and Kevin's got 14. Timberwolves are shooting 42%. They've chopped at that 17-point lead of Los Angeles. They're on a 9-2 run, and they trail by 10 right now. Shaq over Jackson. Kobe Bryant tried to tap it in. They're getting this to single digits going to the 4th. Not a bad way to begin the last period.
Depends how much energy they have to expend to get it there.
That's right. Big shot by Jackson here to bring him to within 8. And a foul on Kobe Bryant of Los Angeles, which is number 4 on Kobe as he stuck his behind out there and blocked Jackson from getting the rebound.
And good energy by Joe Smith right there going to the boards. That's why you pursue every rebound. The Lakers just took the rebound for granted. Maybe Kobe thought that Shaq was just going to get it. Joe Smith never gave up on the play. Just didn't get the rebound, but he did get the call. Good hustle by Smith.
Kobe's got 3 fouls this third quarter alone, and he will exit Devin George quickly off the Phil Jackson bench.
Might be a blessing. Force Phil to get Kobe a rest right here with a minute to go in the 4th quarter.
The Timberwolves look very tired too, though, right now. This game went through a certain span that it got so ragged. It was to the advantage of the Timberwolves because, as you guys said, they were not energized a lot, but nor were the Lakers. The Lakers sort of calmed down a little bit after that run they made.
Hudson checks out. Strickland checks in. We told you Minnesota shooting 41% from the field. They are 10 of 14 from the line. Lakers tonight 45% shooting from the floor. Only 3 of 7. So Minnesota has lapped the Lakers. They have doubled the number of free throw attempts.
Well, and it's not a coincidence. You know, the games that they won, Troy Hudson went crazy. And in the game that tonight, they were right in the game when Troy Hudson was going crazy. Since the first quarter, he's only had 2 points in the last 2 quarters. and they need him. They need him fresh. And in Game 4, you know, Flip sat him a long time while Strickland was playing well, and they had the lead, and Troy never did get back into it.
Full court press, and here it comes. Just what Minnesota will probably utilize the entire game if they've got something left in the tank. Fisher tries to break it and does.
You've got to be careful if you're Minnesota. Go ahead and pressure, but don't gamble and make them earn the baskets.
Madsen. Right by Strickland. Rejected by Smith and a foul. Well, that looked like all ball.
That was a great move right there. That's fundamental basketball one-on-one. Catch it at the high post, rip it through, go to the basket strong, and because of his aggressiveness, that's a great play. A lot of body contact underneath.
Well, and in that situation, you don't mind the shot getting blocked either, because he went to the basket so aggressively that he guaranteed himself an opportunity to get the foul. Had he laid it up lightly and tried to finesse, he would have never even gotten the foul.
Foul is put on Joe Smith, Craig Sager. He's got 4. What do you have?
He has 4 fouls, but at least he's being active. This is the first time he's been affected the entire series. Remember, he started Game 1 but could not play. He hyperextended his knee back on April 14th. Finally, he said today he felt good, had some lateral movement, and was ready to be effective.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal up there takes a big gulp of air, and he is fouled as he went for that loose ball, and 47 seconds to play in the third.
Well, and that's why he needs the size and the weight, too, because every time he catches the ball, he's pulling up 2 or 3 people out there. Can you imagine what it would be like for him under there if he were much thinner?
Jackson's got 3 fouls. Lakers 3 of 9 from the free throw line, only 33%. Here's Shaq, not known for his free throw shooting. 16 points for Hudson tonight. He had 14 in the first half in Game 5. He had 14 in the first half tonight.
Oh, but he's also been a no-show in the second half, too. He's got to step up.
14 in the first quarter.
Look at Madsen. I mean, man, what a great lift he's giving the bench tonight.
Shaw. Madsen. Now to Devin George. Minnesota defensively is right there. Shaw will now outrace Gill. Over and down.
Holy cow. Kendall Gill, Brian Shaw should have let Kendall Gill hit that. I think he was going to go try to save that ball from going out of bounds. Is there a more determined player out there in the game today? Because Joe Smith is a very determined player, as is Kevin Garnett.
The thing that Madsen does so well, though, is he uses his body so well in those situations. He's not a leaper, but position and body is always there.
No fouls to give either way. Here's Kevin Garnett. Joe Smith, the game left uncovered as he has found himself that way most of the night. That time, he hits his first shot from the field. He is 4 of 4 from the line. Smith with 6. Final 11 seconds coming up of the third quarter. Tapped out of bounds and off Minnesota. Shot clock and game clock on the same 10.5.
Lakers just having a tough time to score the basketball right now. They can't get it in the basket, and Minnesota feeding off it. Their defense, like you said, they're getting a little bit more in a frenzy.
Here comes Smith. Here comes Strickland. Trying to beat the buzzer. Defense by the Lakers. Ended by Derek Fisher. Nice job. That takes us to the end of the third. Los Angeles had a big lead of 17 points. Minnesota ends the quarter on a 13-2 run. 69-63. The Lakers by 6 at the end of 3. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. Over 10 times, but in that third quarter, they squander a 17-point lead. They turn the ball over 6 times, and we go to the fourth with the champion Lakers leading Minnesota 69-63. With John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Craig Sager, this is Kevin Harlan.
Well, the Lakers have to be very careful about the early stages of this fourth quarter, because what they have done is given the T-Wolves some hope again. They had them out the back door. Now they let them creep back in again.
Here comes Strickland with Gill, Garnett, Jackson, and Smith for the Timberwolves.
Interesting to see how long Shaq is going to get an opportunity to rest. Big possessions right here for Minnesota.
Samaki Walker taking Shaq's place with Kobe and Devin George, Robert Ory, and Brian Shaw. Second foul put on Devin George.
Well, and with Shaq sitting on the bench, Garnett feels far more comfortable about getting into the low post, being aggressive in there, and realizing that that help is not going to come once he gets the ball from Shaquille.
Kendall Gill. Kevin Garnett's got 14 points. Smith flies in, almost tapped it through, and here comes Brian Shaw.
A good job by Smith getting there, but he's got his hands on the ball. He's got to come down with that rebound.
It's Ori to Kobe.
And this is Kobe time with Shaq out of the game.
Kobe Bryant. Bryant's got a 19-point night rolling, 20 from Shaq. Those are the two highest scores for the Lakers. 16 from Hudson, who's on the Minnesota bench right now, leading the Timberwolves.
What the Lakers really need to do is to continue that aggressive defense that they had earlier.
Air ball by Joe Smith. Away by Gill.
This is definitely Kobe time because he's either penetrating, jumping over, or posting very hard right now.
Well, he's just isolating out of the top. This has nothing to do with triangle basketball. This is one-on-one playground. Kobe Bryant versus Kendall Gill. Kobe wins the battle on that one.
Gill's got 4 fouls. Bring back in Wally Serbiak, taking the place of Gill. 10:48 to play in the game.
And a lot of times that's what it comes down to. You can run all the patterns you want, all the motion offense, all the triangle offense, all the fancy names you got, but it comes down to great players making great plays.
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's hit 2 in a row.
Oh, boy. The stars come out when the time gets tight.
21 for Kobe Bryant.
That was good defense. You know, Wally's a little bit taller than Kendall Gill and Anthony Peeler. Wally was right in his grill.
Look at all the defenders around Kevin Garnett. Joe Smith cleans it up and bangs his way into Samaki Walker. Walker picks up number 1.
There's not a whole lot you can do. Well, with Shaq out of the game, and you got so many bench players in the game, run at Kobe and make Kobe give the ball up. Right now, go get him. Why are you letting Kobe play one-on-one right there? With Shaq especially out of the game.
Joe Smith will be at the free throw line where he is a perfect 4 of 4 tonight for Minnesota.
Well, you can see Joe is recovering from whatever injuries he's had. But you can see the need for him by this team, though, because as you guys indicated earlier, he's just getting his hands on a lot of ball. Maybe timing's not there, but I like his aggressiveness.
Smith has 8. Minnesota back to within a 73-65 reach.
I like Joe Smith's energy and his length. He can make the outside shot. He's one of the best in the league at taking charges.
What a display he has put on in this 4th quarter for Los Angeles.
Major defensive breakdown. Don't they know that that's Kobe? Your man setting a screen on Kobe. You've got to give help. Let the other guys open.
Garnett looking for Jackson. Out of bounds. Turnover.
I've got to believe that Kobe causes a lot of major defensive breakdowns. He rubs his man in real nice off of the post, gets the alley-oop and puts it in.
Well, where's Mark Jackson right there? He's guarding Samaki Walker at 18 feet. Get off and help on the screen.
Peeler is in. Jackson out for Minnesota. Kobe has scored all the Laker points in this 4th quarter. Kobe again. Oh, Kobe Bryant! Every chamber is filled. And Los Angeles pulls on top of Minnesota by 12.
There is no defense for those shots. The double teams can't even get there quick enough to stop that one. First catches the ball right there. I mean, he's going away from Peeler toward the three-point line. Unbelievable.
This series may be defined by the spectacular heroics of Kobe Bryant on Tuesday night in downtown Minneapolis when he has this incredible dunk. And it reminded us of something that happened about 20 years ago when Dr. J came in with that wonderful windmill that went in. And do you see any resemblance?
Dr. J took a little bit further out. Kobe doesn't have the hands where the ball looks like a grapefruit. but two spectacular athletes and plays.
Kobe would have been a year or two old at the time when that happened.
Well, and the thing about both of them are that they could do those kinds of things during the appropriate time of the game. They didn't just do it when the game was insignificant.
Here, Kobe Bryant, 4-4 in this fourth quarter. Garnett watches that ricochet off his palms and out of bounds. Minnesota's turned it over 15 times. The Lakers have turned it over 10 times tonight.
Those are just completely unforced, nervous errors right there. I mean, you can't afford to do that.
You think he's nervous at this time? Oh, they go to Kobe Bryant. Bryant has exploded. He's got 27 in the game.
What a great play by Phil Jackson, though, coming out of the timeout, anticipating a run here by Minnesota with nothing to lose. A great design and execution.
That's a foul on Brian Shaw. Second on him.
I mean, they got this plan right there. He's fronting the post. He just spins out, lock and lob.
And the only way you stop something like that is to pressure the guy who's passing the ball. If you stand off of him and let him pass, he can choose and pick where he wants to put the ball. But isn't it amazing how you define a star? It's not always by quantity, but by quality. Kobe is having an exceptional game, but he did it right when they needed it.
Here's Garnett. He's got 14 points. Peeler for three. Just isn't there. Just is not there. He's 1 of 6 tonight shooting. Bryant. Now they quickly double him. Shaw.
Then the T-Wolves have to deal with Shaquille O'Neal. Lakers can be patient, do whatever they want, and Shaquille will bail them out if they don't see something they're looking for.
It's a foul on Kevin Garnett. Los Angeles watches Garnett pick up his second foul of the game. Here's George at the free throw line. Lakers are only 1 of 6 from the free throw line in the second half tonight. What do you think of the body language of Minnesota, John? Does not look like the intensity that they need right now.
Well, it's flattened out again, but it also did that a while back when the Lakers were up by 17. The Lakers let them off the hook, and then they energized again. But right now, you're definitely right, Kevin. They've gone back to being kind of flat. Understandably so with that performance that Kobe has put on, though.
Minnesota has not put in a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. They're shooting 40% from the field. George alters the shot. Here comes Kobe Bryant, 2-on-1. Alley-oop for Terry George. That may be the dagger.
When you talk about the energy level, how about the energy level of the Lakers? Boy, they're feeding on Kobe's performance.
The Los Angeles Lakers have started the fourth quarter on a 14-2 run.
Great career he's had. I mean, it's all been said the last 2 days. I'm kind of tired of talking about John Stockton, but I tell you what, he's a spectacular guy that nobody will ever forget, and I think that people in Utah have truly appreciated his performance.
Troy Hudson with the runner, and it's picked up by Serbian, and Minnesota down by their largest deficit tonight of 18. Goes back on defense, below 40% shooting for the Timberwolves. Lakers are shooting 49% for the game.
You know what, Kevin? I'm not tired of seeing John Stockton play. I want some more.
I think we all do. Travel by Shaq. Los Angeles this quarter. Wow.
Now maybe they'll have a little bit of sympathy for...
Did he hurt his ankle? Yeah, look, he's grimacing. He hurt his ankle.
Maybe the officials will have a little bit of sympathy of what Mark Jackson and Nesterovic have to go through.
Couldn't have felt too good.
I tell you what, Phil Jackson is watching that with some intensity, though. Everybody else in there may think it's funny. I don't think he does, though.
Ooh, he just tweaked it a little bit.
He sure did. Yeah. Ooh, and then Blaine Reichelt, the official, watch his head hit. Dang. Hudson. Launching on the fly. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers tonight are +8 in rebounding over Minnesota.
And you know, Minnesota, they've made a great series out of this. And they just do not have the talent.
Superman is in the building. Kobe Bryant with a spectacular fourth quarter tonight, 29 points.
I take it all back. There's no such thing as a bad shot.
Kevin Garnett. And Shaq inhales the rebound.
If you can make them in the fourth quarter with the game on the line consistently, you can take them in the first quarter all you want.
And Shaq shoved and fouled.
But
Lakers have the biggest lead right now in the game at 20 points.
But I just don't like it when they neglect the big fella.
Well, I don't like him neglecting him either, but I sure am loving what I'm seeing right now. Oh, my goodness.
Well, the second half led by Kobe Bryant, 55%. Minnesota, we mentioned before, they're the best shooting team so far in this tournament. Of all the playoff teams, Flip Saunders' team is number one, 47%, but tonight 37% from the floor.
And the Lakers have picked up their defensive intensity. That's one big reason why. It's not that Minnesota is done. Minnesota is just not simply as good. And we said right at the beginning of this game, if the Lakers come out with the urgency to win, they will win. And against Minnesota, because Minnesota doesn't have enough bullets.
Timberwolves have scored on only one of their last 10 trips down court. Serbiak tried to wheel inside. Away, out of bounds, 11 seconds to shoot.
And that's what you're talking about. The defensive rhythm has increased with the Lakers. And that's the thing that's so significant about this team offensively. They can play team basketball, many passes, but when you have Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe, they can go solo as well as anybody.
Hudson missing a three. Shaw there with the rebound. Minnesota 0 of 9 shooting in this quarter. Kobe missing his second consecutive shot. Garnett's got the rebound. Three-point shooting, Lakers have hit 4. Minnesota has hit 2 from above the arc tonight. Kevin Garnett. And he's got 16 points and 11 rebounds. But only 8 of 20 shooting from the floor.
You know, you have to respect, though, the fact that I agree with what Danny said, that T-Wolves are just not as good as the Lakers, but you've got to respect their energy in this series and how hard they've played. They're still picking up, they're still fighting, they still haven't given up in this ball game.
And, you know, that's why it was interesting what Flip Saunders said at halftime about the minutes that the Lakers have played. The Lakers play minutes, and all they have to do is throw the ball to Shaq and throw the ball to Kobe. And Kobe is one of the well-conditioned guys in this entire league. And so their minutes aren't as hard to play. Minnesota's minutes, Troy Hudson, Wally Serbiak, Kevin Garnett, they have to work hard every second of the game to get baskets.
How in the world did he get that shot away? Garnett at the up end.
I don't know, but Kobe's having fun, I'll tell you that. And the thing I love about Kobe Bryant is there's not very many people in the league that love to play basketball as much as Kobe.
Well, and there have been few guys in the league that have competed and enjoyed competing and played as hard and didn't take it out of the context. I mean, you got a guy like Magic. I was watching him down in the corner just smiling and grinning. I thought he was going to run out on the court at one time.
Kevin George launching a three. Garnett's there, and Garnett may have come down wrong on his ankle and a foul by Robert Horry. 4 on Horry.
Well, Shaq's double team, and here they come. Kobe moving without the ball. You know, another thing, not only does he love to play, but I mean, he loves to score. This guy, when he plays summer league basketball, he loves to score.
But you know, the flip side of that, Danny, is the fact that as much as he loves to score, one of the things that you have to respect him for, and the same thing that I respected Michael Jordan for, is that they work hard at the defensive end of the floor and they rebound.
What charisma. What presence. Shaw knocked it away.
That's what you weren't seeing before. They're closing the floor on Hudson now. Before they could get through very easily.
There's a rebound by Horry, 3-on-1. He's got Kobe on one side, and Kobe was taken off, and flight school was in session. That was a horrible pass. Garnett to Gill at the other end with the reverse. Got under 5 to play, and the Timberwolves down 89-71.
You know, that was a horrible pass. He tried to copy Kobe's little left-handed lob, but that was definitely a wild pitch.
Beautiful. Oh, what a pass, and Devin George finishes well. Shaquille O'Neal, 9 assists, 16 rebounds, 24 points. Hudson nails it at the other end. Shaq is 1 assist away from a triple-double.
Big fella, teach how to play that post position.
Oh, and Tex Winters loves that. That's called the blind pig in the triangle offense.
The blind pig.
Oink, oink.
Oh, we get Shaq another assist.
George.
Pass it.
Oh, he's going to pass to Garnett. He got the wrong guy. Let's watch his pass again.
This is the blind pig right here. Relieve pressure right there. Back door. No look pass right on the money.
Was that pretty?
Shaq Daddy doing it all tonight.
He's so fun. Look at combined the 55, 18, and 17 assists. 4:02 to play. Nice pass. There it is.
Kobe was out
He
of bounds.
stepped out of bounds. Shaq knows he's got the 9 assists and he's close to the triple-double.
What a great play. They kind of just came up with that, too. They had that thing all figured out right there. Kobe just was out of bounds.
You know, we talk about his body size, but it is amazing the skill level that this man has. He's not about all weight and height. He has enormous skills for anybody, any size that's playing in that position.
There's a foul. It's on Robert Horry as Serbiak was driving him right into his defensive crouch. That's 5 on Horry.
Okay, we talked about 107 points by the starters out of 111 in the last game. And now these guys have 89 of the 91 points is by the starters.
Only 2 bench points from Los Angeles. Minnesota's only got 6 off the bench.
That's like the old Celtics teams in the 80s. Everybody said, you know, you're not deep. Everybody played 40 minutes. Everybody was in double figures. Bench didn't get many points.
Game 6 playoff schedule tomorrow night. ESPN, Detroit, Orlando, Philly, New Orleans. ESPN 2, 10:30, Dallas, Portland. It's all tomorrow night.
Good thing about this ball game is Robert Horry made a contribution at a strategical time in this game when they needed it. Fisher played well in the last game extremely well. And if you get that kind of company along with Kobe and O'Neal, you really got some problems playing the Lakers.
George and Fisher thought about 3. And realigns for 2.
And Shaq is mad. He threw the ball out.
Yeah.
Shoot the ball. Give me my triple-double.
Nice pass. Hudson and Nesterovic. And approaching 3 minutes to play.
Whoever Shaq throws the ball to right now, it has to be a shot.
Shaq has got 24. Kobe's got 31. They are the 2 highest scorers for Los Angeles. 18 by Hudson leads Minnesota. He flies in. Foul called on the Timberwolves, and Nesterovic picks up his second. Craig, what do you have?
Well, Shaq's trying to pick up that last assist, but it's an assist from Rick Fox, who, of course, isn't playing, but he's been statting the game and charting the game the whole time. He's the one that first informed him. Now, Shaq does have 1 triple-double in his career, but it was over 10 years ago when he was playing with Orlando. He had a game at New Jersey where he had 24 points, 28 rebounds, and 15 blocks. But in this game right here, trying to do with points, rebounds, and assists.
That was the regular season. In the playoffs, though, his playoff high, career high is 9.
Yeah, but 24, 28, and
just
15 blocks.
Oh my gosh.
That is torture.
Well, how do you like Los Angeles and San Antonio, boys?
Oh, what a great series. I think the Lakers are vulnerable, though. I mean, they played 3 great games in this series where they look like they're unbeatable. But they have a serious advantage in talent, size over the Lakers, and it lessens with San Antonio.
Robert Horry for 3. Rebound by Nesterovic.
I think it's a series everybody's looking forward to.
Serbiak crashing in, shoved and fouled. Kobe Bryant has put in a captivating performance tonight in this clinching Game 6. 14 fourth-quarter points, 31 for the game. Splashing shots from all over the floor. And here's why, along with Shaq, the Lakers will go to the next round.
Sometimes they have that push-button motivational mentality. They're not going to be able to do that against San Antonio.
Both Phoenix and Minnesota should be credited. They gave great series to two great basketball teams. Not near the talent or experience, not near the superstars.
To Greg Sager.
Well, we talked about that triple-double by Shaq during that timeout. Phil Jackson diagrammed the play, and then after he was done diagramming the play, Kobe and Shaq got together. I think they came up with their own play. They're definitely going after the triple-double. Shaq to Kobe.
Well, I don't know who likes that more, Shaq or Kobe might get to be the beneficiary of the hoop. I'll shoot it, Shaq.
Medvedenko and Kareem Rush are now in for Los Angeles. Shaq to Kobe for three. The assist. Nope. He chases it down.
Shaq's not a fool, though. He knows the guy that's capable of getting him that assist, though. Kobe can make it.
Yeah, you know what? It has nothing to do with how many times you pass. It's who you pass it to.
Off of Minnesota. Lakers tonight shot 48%. Minnesota shot 40% from the floor. In the rebounding category, Lakers plus 10. They dominated the glass in this series.
But you got to love it, though. I mean, the Lakers, so many assists. The whole team's contributing. 33 assists in the game out of 41 baskets. All those one-on-one plays Kobe made, every other basket was assisted.
Kobe Bryant out now and finishes with a 30-plus point average in this first-round series. Tonight, 31 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 assists. And some of his assists were just jaw-dropping. As Fisher knocks it in.
Well, Troy Hudson, he's made a name for himself in this series. What a great series that he had. Just not enough bullets, like I said. We was in Sacramento with Todd Harris yesterday, and he was telling me he went to a retro shop and wanted to buy Mike Bibby retro Royals and Oscar Robertson. And he said there were people in the shop that were looking for Troy Hudson jerseys. He's become a national hero.
Well, you have to give Flip Saunders a lot of credit also for the strategies that he used in this ball game, because he got as much out of that full court pressure. He got his team playing hard.
Shaq will come up shy of his triple-double in the playoffs. He has a regular season triple-double, as we told you before. Now, you know, the Timberwolves began this series as the 4 seed, first time in the history of the organization that they had a home court to begin a playoff series. It was certainly a depressing mood when they found out, coming home from their last regular season game, they're going to take on the Lakers. I don't think a lot of people thought this series would go 5 games.
Well, yeah, Don Colbert even said it on Sunday, the first game. He said this might not go 4 after the way they torched them in the first game. But, you know, another guy, Wally Serbiak's had a great year. And they're made a conscious effort, the Lakers, this great defensive team, to take Wally Serbiak as he scores out of the series. And they did that. And I give Wally a lot of credit. He's got 13 points tonight. He's shooting, 58% coming into the game. He's got 6 rebounds, 5 assists. You know, he's playing the game. And they allowed Troy Hudson to do what he did. They didn't double-team Kevin Garnett until late last game. And so the Lakers' strategy, bottom line is, they haven't had any draft picks for a few years. They need more help in order to get this team over the hump in the first round.
Well, and you have to give Kevin Garnett an awful lot of trouble, too, because, a lot of compliments, because Kevin Garnett goes unnoticed. He has to do so much with not the same supporting cast that a lot of superstars do have, but he did a great job, I think, playing against this Laker team.
Medvedenko and Trent with the rebound. You know, there's another bit of even hard to imagine.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's picking the right jobs, baby. I tell you what, though, Phil, he's been a great coach. You know, we always talk about the coaches that bring their teams from bad to good or exceed expectations, but the hardest thing is to continue to take a team that's on top and continue to be top and continue to be better and better when everybody year after year after year just continues to target you.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I was glad to see Popovich get Coach of the Year, because most of the time you give it to a team that's overachieved, but these guys have constantly sustained a certain level of excellence, and that definitely takes a lot out of you in controlling the talent to get them to play together as a good team.
He had his work cut out this year with all the adversity early in the year and Shaq's injury, and I mean there was a serious doubt whether this team would even make the playoffs at one point this year.
It'll be a busy weekend for the playoffs as we move to the next round, and log on to NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com for exclusive 2003 playoff sections featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com. This is rookie Mike Wilkes bringing it up for Minnesota. Gill throws it away. Rice. Here's Gill again. Manson. Gill. He goes up. The post-game show is being put together for you right now in Atlanta. EJ. Kenny the Jet. Sir Charles. It's all next on Inside the NBA. Boy, a lot of things were decided tonight. Kareem Rush. Boston wins, New Jersey wins, San Antonio wins, and the Los Angeles Lakers will win. And that sets the table for round 2.
It'll be really interesting watching this Laker team perform against San Antonio, though.
Couple big game 6s tomorrow night. That'll be on ESPN and ESPN2.
You got to wonder, particularly when you see the guys that the Lakers have on the floor right now, whether the Lakers' depth will be a factor in that game against San Antonio, because the quality depth that San Antonio can put in the game as opposed to some of the guys you see out here now.
We have a rematch in Boston and New Jersey, a great series last year. Jason Kidd had an unbelievable series last year against the Celtics.
Craig Sager's been kind of documenting the Kobe Bryant right shoulder injury and how he's had the thing looked at. And he's got a big ice pack on that right shoulder right now.
I think it's doing okay.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Nonetheless, it is a part of his story from this series that he'll take against San Antonio. And that's it. The Los Angeles Lakers have captured their 13th consecutive playoff series.